What's good, pod? We are back with another video. Let me take y'all off my pocket real quick. Hope y'all can't hear the audio in the back, but too much at least. Beautiful day out. I don't know if y'all could tell if y'all watched the vlog that I posted recently and the last vlog that I had posted before that. But I've been low on energy recently. I've been suffering a little bit mentally. And I know one of the main things I like to talk about is staying focused, being locked in, all of those things. But at times it's hard to do that. And that's been me for some reason recently. I've just been suffering, like I said. I've been suffering mentally. I've been feeling like I'm not doing enough. I'm not putting in enough work. The only way to satisfy that urge, I'm sorry for moving the camera. I'm trying to make sure my thing's perfectly angled. The only way I could satisfy that urge, I truly think, is by doing what I want to do and being where I want to be, and I know I can be. But what I'm doing now just doesn't feel like enough, and that's because I am always unsatisfied, I'm always unhappy, and I'm always lonely. And I truly do feel alone all the time. I truly do hate that that's the truth of the matter, but it's sad to say, but that just is the truth of the matter. I be feeling like I have nobody to rely on, like there's nobody that understands me, like, and that there's nobody that truly loves and makes me happy, and that I give that same thing to. And it doesn't have to be women. I think it could be people in your life in general. But for me, it just happens to be that the sad fact of it is that I have never had a girlfriend. I've never had any of that. And I'm not really looking for that. I don't go out of my way approaching females or anything, right? But I've come to the realization recently that I am prepared and ready for a relationship, and that I want to take the next steps to further the growth of my life. And that's hard to admit because you might be comfortable where you're at, but that was never me. I've never been comfortable with where I'm at. I've never been comfortable with what I'm doing. And I think that's why I've truly been suffering. The results have not been enough for me. I've been in the gym. I've been in the workspace more. I've been posting a little bit more. I've been on TikTok posting. And everything takes time. I've come to understand that on this journey of YouTube and this journey of life in general as a whole. And there comes a time that you eventually just feel so empty inside and you just feel so dull. And that just happens to be where I'm at right now. And I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all and let y'all know that's why. That's just the real of it. And like I said, this is the Real Talk podcast where real people talk about the real. And that just happens to be the real of how I've been feeling recently. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do to fix this. On my drive here, I sat in absolute silence and just was talking to God, praying, and telling him that I do not need to rush his process that he has given me, if that makes sense. I do not need to rush anything that God has in store for me, but I would like for the things that I pray for and that I work for and that I know will happen to start happening. And I don't know if that's greedy to say. I don't know if that's wrong for me to say or pray for. Maybe y'all can help me out with that. Maybe y'all can help me out with a lot. Who knows, man? I know this is the Real Talk podcast where real people talk about the real. And I just want to be real with y'all about what I am feeling. I want to be real with y'all about what's going on in my mental and what's been causing me to not be posting and what's been causing me to struggle mentally. It's not talked about enough on the internet. Everyone's just too fake nowadays, man. Even in friendships, even for relationships, if y'all have those going on, even when you're in talking stages with females, people are so fake. No one's their 100% authentic self when you first meet them, especially when you're flirting and when you're talking to each other and all of those things, right? And I just think that sucks. And I just think that I've been struggling trying to find myself, maybe. I know what I want to do with my life. I know what my goals are. I know what I want to get out of life. But I don't know who I am or what I'm doing. Like, I know my name. I know what I do on a daily basis. I know what I want to do. But I have yet to feel certain emotions that I think a lot of people need to feel and that a lot of people should have in life that will improve your life and make you happy. And it just sucks to say it's not anyone else's fault but mine. I don't want anyone to think that it's their fault either. And that's why I don't talk to people about these things, because people usually tend to blame themselves or, oh, what can I do to help? When at the end of the day, this is my own battle that I am facing. And one of the things I was praying about and had to admit is that I just told God straight up, hey man, this battle is hard and I've yet to let my guard down my whole life, and I've let my guard down recently to open myself up more to my faith and to my whole purpose of life, right? That's why I've been posting on my TikTok more. That's why I've been trying to film more when I go out and trying to film more in general, just to get comfortable with being in a camera, because this is something that I want to do with my life. This is a purpose that that I know truly deep down inside brings me happiness and that could help other people. That's one of my main things I want to gain out of this life that I live, and that I want to realize that I can't help everybody, but one of the things I did also pray for is that, God, please help me help myself. And I was praying very selfishly, but we have to be selfish, y'all. It's needed nowadays because people are not selfish enough, and I feel like I'm not selfish at all. I feel like I've always just worried about how other people might feel. Like, this conversation can't be had with anyone I know. And if it can be, I'm sorry that you're watching this, but that's just not how I truly do feel. Otherwise, I would have had that conversation with you. And instead, I'm sitting here by myself talking to a camera. And that's not anybody else's fault either, though. You have to realize that as a human, that you are in control of your emotions. You are in control of your life. And I've realized that, and I've preached that over and over and over and over again on this podcast and on my main channel, maybe a little bit here and there. But I want you guys to realize that we are all human and that we are all led to feel some type of way, whether you be super successful or whether you be super poor. That will not change how you truly do feel. You cannot run away from these emotions that you have deep down inside, right? So that's why I'm coming on here. I just want to express these emotions that I have truly deep down inside, and the emotions that I also lack. The emotions that I do know I'm dealing with and that I am truly aware of is I'm unsatisfied, I am unhappy, I am lonely, I feel empty, and I feel unloved, uncared for. And I feel like a zombie, if that makes sense. I don't know if that would count, but I feel like every day is just going by and by. And I do things on a daily basis. I put in that work. Like I said, y'all could even check out the day in the life of a purpose-driven 19-year-old. That's just me making my testament to this, that this is me. This is what I do on a daily basis. It's not all what you see on the internet. This is a little bit of behind the scenes. This is what I do at work. This is what I do before I go to work. This is what time I gotta wake up at. This is what time I gotta go to sleep. Like, my job has been so grueling mentally to deal with, because I cannot continue to know that I'm getting screwed over on a daily basis at work. I'm getting screwed over hourly. Like, I'm not getting the hours I was told. I'm not getting the time I was told. I'm getting told what to do, when to do it. Like, that's just not me. I can't work under somebody my whole life. If that's what you want to do and that is your purpose that God has given you, bless you and thank you, because you guys help the world go round. But that is not me. I want to be a successful entrepreneur that helps many people deal with things like this: mental illness, anger, instability in a household, all of these things that I never had. I want to be able to help people, but first I need to learn to help myself. And that's what I've been trying to do. That's why I got a new car. And that's why I got all these things going on mentally. And that's why I'm trying to do what I want to do with my life and get to where I want to be. But for some reason, I keep failing and I keep failing and I keep failing. And like I said in almost every episode, and one of my main points of this whole podcast is that when you fail, you need to get back up and you need to keep going. But man, it's hard, man. It's hard to get up at times. And that's where I've been at recently. But on the way here, I was driving in silence, like I said, because music hasn't been satisfying me recently. And I love music. Money hasn't been satisfying me recently because it's been a struggle. Like, I'm proud of myself for getting a new car, but I'm not proud of myself at the same time. And the only reason I say that is because I expected myself by now to be locked in and doing what I wanted to do and be so successful that I could have just bought that car. But instead, I have to finance that car and I have to pay insurance on that car. And that is a whole thing and a whole responsibility that is stressful to deal with, that people do not talk about enough and that people do not speak on enough. Because you guys will see on the internet that people are 16 buying their first Hellcat. People are 19 buying their fourth Maybach or something. You feel me? Like, I watch those videos too. They're entertaining. And it's truly inspiring. And it truly motivates me. But it's not reality. At the end of the day, that's not my reality, at least. Maybe it's y'all's. And it can be my reality if I locked in and did what I know I needed to do. But for some reason, I fail at realizing that these temporary things that I keep buying, that I keep putting my energy into, that I keep falling into, these traps that I have made for myself, that I keep trapping myself in for some reason, are leading me to fail and fail and fail, and are leading me to feel mentally miserable, and that are leading me to just hate myself and hate what I'm doing and to hate life as a whole. And that's selfish because Jesus didn't sacrifice himself for that. You know, like, God does not put you on this earth for you to just be so hateful. You could be so much more, but for some reason, I just always truly have had no help with that feeling of not feeling hate. And that's one thing I also prayed for. I prayed that God could help me learn more about my faith and my testament and my realization of where I've come. Like, I've made it far, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I will share with y'all one day the true struggles I've been through. But just to give y'all a quick, like, some of it, we was eating canned food and had no electricity in the house for a long time. Recently is when we finally got hot water and electricity on a daily basis. Dealing with a lot of mental abuse, physical abuse. Like, there's been so much me and my siblings have been through, and I still for some reason feel unsatisfied with what I'm doing and where I'm at. And I don't see that as a problem. Maybe that is my problem, but I know that I don't see it as a problem because it's gonna further me as a human being and the things I stand for and my morals. And that's also my problem when it comes to women. I need someone that's on the same thing I'm on. I need a purpose-driven woman. I need someone that's got goals. I need someone that wants to do something with their life. You don't got to do what I want to do, but I at least want you to do something with yourself. Like, I don't need someone that is me. I need someone that complements me or might be the opposite of me, but I still have things that I would need a woman to do and that I would want a woman to have. There are still personality traits, there are still morals that they need to have. And that's because I'm old enough now to where I'm looking for maybe a wife, a baby mama. But if I have a baby mama, I'm marrying her. Like, there's no way I'm going to have kids with someone that I'm not going to marry. Like, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that person. That's just not me. And maybe that's why I sit here every day by myself, doing things by myself and feeling so alone. But I'm not going to sit here and hate myself for that. I'm not going to sit here and act like that's a bad thing. It's not. Y'all need that in your life. But me, that's just been my whole life. And I'm getting tired of it, man. And I'm getting to the point to where it's unbearable. And I have to admit that, and I have to offer these unbearable feelings to God and hope that He could turn them into either motivation or just take them away and help me realize that this is what you could do, or that you don't have to feel this way. But for some reason, I've yet to get past that. I've yet to deal with that on this 20 years of living on this planet. I've yet to conquer these feelings and these emotions that I suffer from. And there's a reasoning for that. There's no problem with that. But let me tell y'all, man, it is hard. And it don't get any easier. It might even get harder than this. It has been harder. And that's why I'm like so confused why I feel this way. It's been so much harder. And it's been so much worse. And yet I still feel the same. Like, bro, it's crazy. Like, I still feel the same. I'm still unsatisfied. I still feel like I'm not doing enough. And I still feel like there's so much more for me. And man, it's hard to get up and get it done every day. It's hard to do that. But that's even more reason why you got to do it. That's one of the things I preach. That's one of the things I stand for. But at times, there's times I can't get up and do it. Like, that's just the real of it, bruh. There's sometimes I can't get up and do it, bruh. And that's why I love the gym for some reason. Like, that's something that you gonna not want to do, but then when you do it, you're just gonna want to keep doing it every day. You're gonna want to be in there in the lab every day, just growing whatever muscle area, growing everything. But like cardio is hard as hell to get into. Like, you got to give your props to people that do cardio, even if it's someone that's chubby, even if it's someone that does a slow, light jog that might look like a slow walk to you, whatever. It's hard to do cardio. I went and did a 8-mile jog the other day in the pouring rain, late at night, and that thing was the most satisfying thing I have done and the craziest I have felt in a long time. And when I say crazy, I mean like the happiest I've felt. Like, I can insert the clip of it for y'all right now. I'll put it in right now. I'll just pop it up right here. It was the craziest I had felt in a long time, but I was happy because I knew I was doing something that I didn't want to do. I knew that other people weren't out there with me. And then I got humbled. Coming around the corner, I see 2 people younger than me out here doing it. Got out here later than me because I've already been out here for an hour and a half trying to get around this 8-mile lake, and they out here doing it, having fun, laughing, smiling, right? You get humbled, but I still was satisfied. I still was happy. I still felt great when I got to my car and seen how soaked my clothes were, how soaked my shoes were, my socks, bruh. My shoes were so wet that my socks had got wet. And if y'all know, that is a nasty feeling and a weird feeling. Just for me, at least, being a clean freak and being someone that needs to be like all the time clean. And I like the heat, but I also enjoyed that. I enjoyed the rain. I enjoyed that jog, and I enjoyed the results I got from that because it was a testament to how locked in I am. But that was the last time I went and did cardio. My legs were sore for like 4 days because I was doing jogs, and then when I was about to give up, you do a full sprint for a long time, and then you just walk, and then you jog, and then full sprint, and then walk. You know, you take your breaks. But I was doing full sprints in between each time right before I would start walking. That was because I was like, haven't done cardio since like 6th grade, 7th grade, when I would play baseball. And I'm doing cardio because, yeah, I'm in the gym. Yeah, I'm getting bigger and all this, but I don't care if y'all see the results. I see the results. But I'm going to be honest, when you hitting abs and you trying to burn fat, trying to burn belly fat, trying to do whatever, the gym gonna help, but it's not gonna help as much as some cardio will. And I'm getting bigger, but I want a defined build, if that makes sense. I want people to see the muscles that I've put on, and I want to be able to see the results myself without it just looking bigger. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want to be a big, bulky muscular dude. I want to be a medium-sized, defined, muscular dude. Like, I don't know how to explain that. I'll pop up the build for y'all right here, and I'll pop up the build of another person right here. And there's nothing wrong with either of these builds. I think as long as you working towards something, you could be fat and still in the gym. You could be fat and still weight training. You could be fat and still jogging. Just do something with fitness, because fitness is a great output. But even that, for some reason, has not been satisfying. It's just so weird nowadays, bro. And like, it's not even the internet that is making me feel this type of way either. Seeing people that are 14 own houses and property, and then when they turn 16 own a Maybach. That doesn't bother me, because I know I could be there. I know I could have been there. I know I could get there, right? I know what I want to do. I know where I'm going. I know what I need to do. But recently, it's just been feeling like I can't. Excuse me. It's been feeling like it's not possible. And I know it is. That's why I'm bothered by it, bro. It's like, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I know it's going to happen. I know it's like inevitable that this is going to happen, because I'm already living it in my mind. I already have like lived it in my brain. I've already imagined it. I've already seen it. Now it's time to obtain it, but I can't obtain it. And I want to obtain it now, but it's not happening. And it's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. Who knows when it will happen? Maybe it will happen today. Maybe it will happen tomorrow. But for some reason, I keep grasping and keep grasping and keep grasping. And I'm just reaching for nothing. And I'm grabbing nothing. Like, I'm grasping for nothing. I'm grabbing air. Like, instead of me grabbing the keys off my penthouse counter and going to my garage and having to choose between my 4 cars that I've already dreamt up in my mind and already have seen and envisioned. Instead of me feeling like I just woke up in a good mood, fully happy, fully loving my life, fully in shape, fully doing what I want to do, I don't feel that way. And that's the reason I haven't been posting. That's the reason it's been hard. And that's the reason that my mental has been so bad. And like I said, this is just the real of it. And it's the Real Talk Podcast. And I hope y'all don't see me as any less of a man or any less of a person because I'm able to admit these things. And even if you did, I'm going to be honest. I don't care. You lucky I can't cuss on here. Because, yeah, you would have got cranked. Let me tell you that. You would have got cranked. Like, bruh, nah. Like, y'all can't stop me from doing what I want to do. Y'all can't deter me from my path. Only I can. And recently, I have been deterring myself from my path. That's why I'm on here telling y'all. That's why I'm on here speaking on it. And I hope y'all could see me and understand me a little bit more now. I hope this reaches the right people's ears that it's meant to reach. And I hope it helps the right people that also need to hear this and admit this to themselves, or that also need to know there's other people out there. We're not weird, bruh. If anything, we normal. Those people that aren't normal are the ones that fake who they are the ones that aren't real with themselves and can't admit when things are rough and can't admit when things are good. There's those people that fake their lives, and there's those people that live the real of their life. And I'm one of those people that live the real of my life. And yeah, that's just the real of it. This is the Real Talk Podcast. I really do appreciate y'all watching. If y'all made it this far, y'all know the usual. Drop an 8. That's my favorite number. It's not no symbolic devil, none of that. Drop an 8 or drop a cross. Drop a high five. Drop something. Drop an emoji. Drop something. Drop an emoji. Drop a number. Whatever y'all want. It don't got to be anything specific. My bad. There's a spider in front of me that just like staring at me. But yeah, man, I really do appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, if you made it this far, do something to let me know. And it's the Real Talk Podcast where real people talk about the real. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace out, y'all.